up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now I'd like to give you guys a comic review. This is my comic review for Superman, the Endless Winter Special. This is Endless Winter Part 3. So there you can see Endless Winter Part 3. And this is the Superman Special. And so this is obviously the third part of Endless Winter. The first part was the Justice League special. The second part was the Flash, Flash number 767. And the third part now is Superman special. And let's talk about it a little bit. This is really kind of two separate books in one. From plot all the way down to the quality. It's really two separate books in one. First, you have the prologue, which tells it's the origin of the Frost King. Frost King, who so far has been the antagonist of this storyline. There you can see. Now, the Frost King in this, his name is Ewald. I wonder if this is the Ewald from the Justice League comic that ran in the 90s, Ice's brother. So Ewald is a character that showed up in 1994, January and February of 1994. So we're talking, gosh, the better part of 30 years ago. And the Justice League America took him on. He's Ice's brother. And there he is right there. And obviously, this is the Justice League America when it was kind of the B team in there. You know, Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Ray, Fire, Ice, Bloodwind, Maxima, Wonder Woman. So he was fighting them in the Arctic as the Frost King, essentially, is what he was. He had ice powers. Now, he had enhanced powers because he was given some power gifted to him by the Overmaster, which would be a story that would pay off sometime down the road. But here he is. Now, this isn't how he looks now, but this does look a little bit like he looked in his origin in Endless Winter #1. So here you can see, other than the hair, obviously, the hair is obviously a different color, but there he is right there. So, I mean, it's not really the same. The hair is different and whatnot, but physically there are some similarities. The body type, the ponytail, even some of the clothing, it's very similar. Just he's been probably made to look a little ethnically more like what that region would look like in real life. So, yeah, he showed up to fight the Justice League in a two-parter. Where, again, he had ice powers. As far as I know, he's never shown up again. Now, to be fair, over the past 30 years, there's only one character that has always been on my pull list, and that's Superman. I've never missed a Superman book. Justice League has not always been on my pull list. It has usually been, but hasn't always been. So it's possible that I missed him at some point or another, but as far as I know, he's never popped up again. So I'd be interested in finding out if there is a connection here to where this is supposed to be the same character. The same name, and they both have ice powers, and they're both from that part of the world. So I wouldn't be surprised. It would be really interesting to me if they... for confirmation, I would want them to come out and say that he is Ice's brother, because Ice does exist in this universe, and I would want that would be the ultimate confirmation for me. But I think they're the same character, and the origin was actually really cool. It was really well done, I thought. Tragedy, obviously, with his son dying. Definitely a very well told, quick origin story. It was only about a third of the book was his origin. But again, it was really a tale of two different stories here, because the art in this front part was much better than the art later in the book. Just a lot more cleaner, a lot more crisper. Just everything seemed to mesh together nicer. Whereas the second part of the book, it's mostly told from Lois Lane's point of view, where she's writing a story, and we're seeing kind of what she's writing about. And instantly, to me, the art is just immediately worse than the art in the first part, where it was telling Ewald's origin. This just seems, again, I talked about it in the Flash book last time. This feels very 90s-ish in terms of its art. Just the very straight lines, the rigidness, the contrasting bright colors. It feels very 90s-ish. And it goes on to where one of my criticisms from the Flash book was that not a lot happened. There was some fighting. Flash fought some ice monsters. Well, not a lot happens here. Superman fights some ice monsters. The prologue was really good. Again, it gives you information about the Frost King. Nothing really happens here. Now, we do get a nice moment where he visits his parents, Ma and Pa Kent. But other than that, there's not a lot going on here as far as Superman's role in the story. This didn't have to be a Superman special. It wasn't necessary to tell the story. Now, I will say, at the very last page, we go back to Stag. We go back to Stag for the first time since the Justice League special. And we learn that maybe he is nefarious. Maybe he doesn't have, clearly he does not have good intentions here. And there's also a mystery. At the very last panel, there's some people frozen in the ice and we don't know who they are. Or do we? But, again, the first part of this book was really, really good. The origin was really well told. It was fast-paced, and the art was very nice, and it was just a really good prologue. And then the brunt of the book, at least the second half, if not the last 2/3, was told from Lois Lane's point of view, where she's writing a news story, and typically I don't really like that. It's not the first time that they've told a comic book that way, where we're reading either Lois Lane's story, or a Clark Kent story, or a Ron Traut's story, whatever the case may be. We've seen that before, and I've never really liked those books. They just seem to be very exposition heavy, and in this case, this one was exposition heavy, but the exposition didn't do anything. It didn't take us anywhere. This is by far the weakest of the Endless Winter so far. By far. And that's sad, because the opening was very well done. Very well done. Even the Flash laid groundwork for Black Adam, laid groundwork for some antagonists, and this one didn't really do that. We had one page of Stag, and then we had an origin. And it just wasn't enough to really make this book be an integral part of the Endless Winter storyline. So I was let down by this book, but, it is what it is. I'll be reading Aquaman Part 4 next week, and we'll see where it goes from there. So did you guys read Superman Endless Winter Part 3? Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. I'd love to have a conversation about it. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and as always, thank you so much for joining me right here at the OK Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we'd love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.